हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, प्रणाम।
हरे हरे कृष्ण माता जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी,
हरे
दंडवत प्रणाम।
कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam to all of you. Hare Krishna, all the devotees. Dandavat Pranam to all of you. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, ma. Yes, प्रभु जी, we here.
Thank
Yes,
you.
प्रभु जी.
Thank you. Thank you. I welcome you and invite you to the early morning short Bhagavatam class by Sri Radha Govinda Temple, Kolai, Bengaluru. And I indeed invite for and on behalf of His Divine Grace, Sri Namanishta Das Prabhuji. Let us begin with prayers so that we understand the message of the Lord Krishna very clearly from Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmulitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swami Iti Namine. Namo Acharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradayine Gaurapatat Dhamadaya Nagar Gramatarine. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshatarine Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavasya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalitam Shri Vishakharvitansha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Vada Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Krupa Sindhubhya eva cha Patita Nama Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. May I request you to follow me? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
ओम
ओम
नमो
नमो
भगवते
भगवते
वासुदेवाय।
वासुदेवाय।
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
ओम
ओम नमो
नमो
भगवते
नमो भगवते
वासुदेवाय।
वासुदेवाय।
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
ओम
ओम
नमो
नमो
भगवते
भगवते
वासुदेवाय।
वासुदेवाय।
Yam pravrajantamanupetamapetakrutyam dvaipayano virahakatara ajuhava.
यं
यं
प्रव्रजन्तमनुपेतमपेतकृत्यं
प्रव्रजन्तमनुपेतमपेतकृत्यं
द्वैपायनो
द्वैपायनो
विरहाय
विरहाय
आजुहाव।
Putreti tanmayataya taravo binedu stam sarvabhutaradayam munimanatosmi.
पुत्रेतु
पुत्रेति
तन्मयतया तदवो अभिनेदुस्तं सर्वभूतं हृदयं मुनिमानतोऽस्मि।
Yah svanubhavam shruti saramekam adhyatmadipamati tishata tamondam.
यस्वानुभावम् अखिलश्रुतिसारमेकम्
यस्मानुभावमखिलश्रुतिसारमेकम्
अध्यात्मदीपम्
अध्यात्मदीपमतितीतितीरतातमो अन्धम्।
अतितीतितीर्षतामोऽन्धम्।
Sansarinam karunayah purana guhyam tam swasamu सुनुमुपिम्यामि गुरु मुनीना
संसारिणा करुणया पुराणगुं
पुराणगुह्यं
तं व्यासं
व्याससूनुमुपयामि
गुरुं मुनीनाम्
गुरुं मुनीनाम्
नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमम्
नारायणं
तञ्चैव
नरं चैव नरोत्तमं
नरोत्तमम्
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये
देवीं
देवीं
सरस्वतीं
सरस्वतीं व्यासं
व्यासं
ततो
ततो
जयमुदीरये
जयमुदीरयेत्
शृणतां स्वकथा कृष्णः पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तनः
कथा स्वकथा
कथा
कृष्ण
कृष्ण
पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तन
कीर्तन
हृदयन्त सोयभद्राणि विदुनोति सुरस्तथा
हृदयभद्राणि
सतां
विदुषु सुकृतपदम्
नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया
नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु
अभद्रेषु
त्वं
नित्यं
भागवत सेवया
सेवया
भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी
भगवतीव
उत्तमश्लोके
लोके
भक्तिर्भवति
भक्ति
नैष्टिकी
नैष्टिकी
Right, today is fifth chapter, fifth canto, first chapter, and 11th verse. Madhumai Mataji, would you like to begin with reciting?
यस प्रभुजी हरे कृष्ण
Hare
ॐ
Krishna.
नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय श्रीभगवानुवाच निबोधतातेदं ऋतं ब्रवीमि मा सूयितं देवम् अर्हस्य प्रमेयम् वयं भवस्ते तत एष महर्षिर्वहाम सर्वे विवशायस्य दिष्टम् थैंक यू प्रभु जी हरे कृष्ण
Thank you, Mataji. Surya Prakash Rao Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय श्री भगवान उवाच निबोधतादेदं ऋतं ब्रवीमि मे मा सूयतं देवम् अर्हसि प्रमेयम् वयं भवस्ते तत एष महर्षिः वहाम सर्वे विवाशा यस्य दिष्टम् हरे कृष्ण प्रभु
Thank you, Prabhuji. Srinivas Rao Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी दंडवत प्रणाम श्री भगवान उवाच निबोधतातेदमृतं ब्रवीमि मसूयुतं देवमर्हस्य प्रमेयम् वयं भवस्ते तत एष महर्षिः वहाम सर्वे विवशा यस्य दिष्टम् हरे कृष्ण प्रभु
Thank you, Prabhuji. Sujata Subhash Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी श्रीभगवानुवाच विबोधतातेदमृतब्रवमि मासो देवस्य प्रमेयम् वयं भवस्ते तत एष महर्षिः वहां सर्वे विवश यस्य दृष्टम् Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mata.
Hare Krishna.
चित्रा मोहिनी देवीदासी जी.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। श्री भगवान् उवाच निबोधतात इदं ऋतं ब्रवीमि मा असूयितं देवं हर्हस्य प्रमेयम् वयं भवस्ते तत एष महर्षि वहाम सर्वे विवशा यस्य दिष्टम्। हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
थैंक यू माता जी. प्रफुल्ला माता जी.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। श्री भगवान उवाच निबोधतात एतमृतं ब्रवीमि मा सुयितुं देवमहर्ष्य प्रमेयम् वयं भवस्ति तत एष महर्षि बर्हाम सर्वे विवसा यस्य तिष्ठम्। हरे कृष्ण प्रभु।
थैंक यू. अंजलि माता जी.
हरे कृष्ण। श्री भगवानुवाच निबोधतातेदमृतं ब्रवीमि मा सूयितं देवम् अर्हस्य प्रमेयम् वयं भवस्ते तत एष महिर्षिर् वहाम सर्वे विवशा यस्य दृष्टम्। हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
थैंक यू माता जी. विजया कुमारी माता जी.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। ओम नमो
हरे कृष्ण.
भगवते वासुदेवाय। श्री भगवानुवाच निबोधतेदं मृदं प्रवस्मि मा शूयिदं देवम् अर्हसि अप्रमेहं वयं भवस्ते तदा एष महर्षिर् वहाम सर्वे विवशा यस्य दिष्टम्। हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। थैंक यू।
थैंक यू. गायत्री देवी माता जी.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। श्री भगवानुवाच निबोधतातेदमृतं ब्रवीमि मा सूयितं देवमहर्ष यस्य प्रमेयम् वयं भवस्ते तत एष महर्षि वहाम सर्वे विविशा यस्य दृष्टम्। हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
थैंक यू. आयुषी माता जी.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। श्री भगवान वाच निबोधततेदमृतं ब्रवीमि वस्युजितं देवमर्हसि अप्रमेयम् वयं भवस्ते तथा एष महर्षि वहाम सर्वे विवस्ता यस्य दुष्टम्। थैंक यू वेरी मच प्रभु जी माता जी।
थैंक यू माता जी. मधुसोनी माता जी.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। श्री भगवानुवाच निबोधतातेद अमृतं ब्रवीमि मा सूयितं देवं हस्य प्रमेयम् वयं भवस्ते तत एष महर्षिर् वहाम सर्वे विवशा यस्य दिष्टम्। थैंक यू प्रभु जी। हरे कृष्ण।
थैंक यू. उमा कुलकर्णी माता जी.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
हरे
श्री
कृष्ण माता जी.
भगवानुवाच निबोधतातेदमृतं ब्रवीमि मा सूयितं देवम् अर्हसि अप्रमेयम् वयं भवस्तते एष महर्षि वहाम सर्वे विवशा व्यस्य दिष्टम्। हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
थैंक यू. सुब्बाराव प्रभु जी. दंडवत प्रणाम प्रभु जी.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। दंडवत प्रणाम प्रभु जी। श्री भगवानुवाच निबोधतातेदमृतम् अब्रवीमि मा सायितं देवमर्हस्य प्रमेयम् वयं भवस्ते तत एष महर्षिर् वहाम सर्वे विवशा यस्य दिष्टम्। हरे कृष्ण प्रभु।
Thank you. Anyone left out? Revati माता जी.
श्री कृष्ण प्रभु जी। श्री
Go ahead.
भगवान उवाच निबोध तत मृत्युं कृब्रमवि मासु यितुं देवमहर्ष प्रियेयम् वयं भवस्तेत सत येषो महर्षि वैहं सर्वं विकयायस्य दिष्टम्। हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। थैंक यू वेरी वेरी मच।
Thank you. Anyone left out? Okay. Anjali Mataji, would you like to read synonyms for us?
Sure प्रभु जी। Synonyms. Shri Bhagavanuvacha, the Supreme Person, Lord Brahma said, Nibodha, kindly hear with attention. Tata, My dear son, idam, this, ritam, true, bhavami, I am speaking, ma, not, asuritam, to be jealous of, devam, the supreme personality of Godhead, arhasi, you ought, aprameyam, who is beyond our experimental knowledge, vayam, we, bhavaha, Lord Shiva, te, your, tataha, father, ishaha, he, this, Maharshi, Narada, Vahama, carry out, survey, all, Vivasaha, unable to deviate, Yasya, of whom, Drishtam, the order.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Lord Brahma, the supreme person within this universe, said, My dear Priyavrata, kindly hear attentively what I shall say to you. Do not be jealous of the Supreme Lord, who is beyond our experimental measurements. All of us, including Lord Shiva, your father, and the great sage Maharshi Narada, must carry out the order of the Supreme. We cannot deviate from his orders. Your father, that is Swayambhuva Manu. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Of the 12 great authorities in devotional service, 4, Lord Brahma himself, his son Narada, Swayambhuva Manu, and Lord Shiva were present before Priyavrata. They were accompanied by many other authoritative sages. Brahma first wanted to impress upon Priyavrata that although these great personalities are all authorities, they cannot possibly disobey the orders of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is described in this verse as Deva, which means always glorious. The power, glory, and potencies of the Supreme Personality of the Godhead can never be diminished. In Ishopanishad, the Lord is described as Apapavida, which indicates which indicates that he is never affected by anything materially considered sinful. Similarly, Srimad Bhagavatam describes the Supreme Personality of Godhead as being so powerful that nothing we might consider abominable can affect him. An example sometimes given to explain the position of the Supreme Lord is that of the sun, which evaporates urine from the earth but is never affected by contamination. The Supreme Lord can never be accused of doing anything wrong. When Lord Brahma went to induce Priyavrata to accept the responsibility for ruling the universe, he did not go whimsically. He was following the orders, dictates of the Supreme Lord. Indeed, Brahma and other genuine authorities never do anything without his permission. The Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart. In the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said that Tene Brahma Radaya Kavai Muhyanti Yat Surayaha. It means that the Lord dictates the Vedic knowledge to Brahma through his heart. The more a living entity is purified by devotional service, the more he comes in direct contact with the SPOG, as confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam. Tesham satata yuktana bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upanyate te. To those who are constantly devoted and worship me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. This is Bhagavad Gita 10.10. Lord Brahma, therefore, had not come to Priyavrata by his own whims. Rather, it is understood that he had been ordered to pursue Priyavrata by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose activities cannot be understood by material senses, and who is therefore described herein as Aprameya. Thus, Lord Brahma first advised Priyavrata to hear his words with attention and without envy. Why one is induced to perform certain acts despite his desire to do something else is indicated herein. One cannot disobey the orders of the Supreme Lord, even if one is as powerful as Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, Manu, or the great sage Narada. All these authorities are certainly very powerful, but they do not have the power to disobey the orders of the Supreme Personality of the Godhead. Since Lord Brahma had come to Priyavrata in accordance with the orders of the Supreme Lord, he first wanted to dispel any suspicions that he might be acting as Priyavrata's enemy. Lord Brahma was following the orders of the Supreme Lord, and therefore it would be worthwhile for Priyavrata to accept the Lord Brahma's orders as the Lord's order. So very nice purport, and in nutshell, if you really look at it, Lord Brahma comes and he very vividly starts speaking now. We learned yesterday that he looked at him compassionately and smiled at him. That's how he was trying to depict that he is not only a grandfather, but he is also a friend of Priyavrata. So the concept of any animosity may not exist in Priyavrata's mind. Now look at the setup that Brahma has made before he speaks anything. He knows it's going to be a tough job to deviate a pure devotee from a devotional service and ask him to accept the material life and enter into the family affairs. And that's why he gets together, Lord Brahma gets together Lord Shiva, Swayambhu Manu, Narada. All of them, four of them are actually Mahabharata or Mahajana, whatever you call them. There are 12 Mahajanas or Mahabharatas, of which 4 are present while this conversation is going on. Not only that, but there is an audience of lots of authoritative sages who are also present when Lord Brahma is speaking. Lord Brahma is actually asking Devrata to accept the household affairs against a devotional service, and that too to a pure devotee who has been involved for a long time in all austerities and penances. That's the scenario that we are in now, and the next verse is also going to speak about what Brahma says further. In this verse, if we look at it, it mentions the word Deva. Deva is nothing but one who is always glorious. We also looked at the reference in Isropanishad where it says Apapa Vida. That means someone who is never affected by any sinful actions. In Srimad Bhagavatam, it is even said further that Lord, Supreme Lord, is not affected in any way by any abominable acts also. The typical analogy that is given here is that of a sun. When sun dries up urine on the surface of the earth, urine evaporates, but urine stays clear of the sun, and thus sun never gets contaminated. In other words, even if the cleaning and purifying process of the Lord is going on, Lord himself doesn't get affected or contaminated by those things that he is cleaning up for. In fact, if we look at it, Lord Brahma has brought the order of the Supreme Lord. He is simply explaining to Priyavrata about the order that he has received, which he is transmitting. But he is making a background to convey this order. It's more or less like giving a bitter pill covered with sugar on top. And that's why, as I said earlier, he first looked at him compassionately with soft eyes and then smiled at him. And now he is soft spoken that please hear me out and hear very attentively and hear it without any envy to the Lord. There are few more references that comes along with this purpose. And one of them is from Srimad Bhagavatam itself that says, Tene Brahma Radayadi Kavai Guyanti Yat Sureyaha. It only means that Lord dictates everything in the heart of the Brahma for him to understand. It has been said in the scripture that Lord Brahma was the first student of Lord Krishna, who explained all the Vedas, all the Puranas, and all the Itihasas to him. This was dictated in his heart. And that's how Lord Brahma is the first student of all the Vedas. Brahma very carefully goes ahead, and we know the reference of Bhagavad Gita 10.10 when Lord says that if you are continuously in a devotional service and worshipping me, I take up the responsibility to tell you the direction how to come to me. So you don't need to look at any outside guide or help or directions to reach to the Lord. Lord himself is going to dictate to you what you need to do in your heart. And that is by your Chaitya Guru, Paramatma or Super Soul, lying in the heart of every living entity. The crux of the point here is very simple, that Lord's actions, Lord's orders are always to be obeyed. Howsoever great authority one becomes in the hierarchy of the Devatas, demigods, and other people, including Mahajanas and Mahabharatas, they cannot or will never have a power to disobey the Lord's orders. In Christian missionaries, it is a saying that Lord works in the most mysterious ways. And it's very true. In our language of vernacular Gujarati, it is said that Chakli Mate Brahmand Halave. What it means that for a small sparrow's sorrows or happiness, the Lord will move the entire universe. That only shows the power of the Lord, the mystic way of working of the Lord, and how truthfully he supports and protects the devotees of the Lord, or his own devotees. The next verse is also going to tell us in further what the Lord Brahma speaks to Priyavrata. But in nutshell, this is the whole thing that exists in this purport. It's very simple and straightforward purport. He gives you various descriptions and references from Ishopanishad, Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and explains to us that whenever Lord orders something, we must follow that order, though we wish to do it or not, or though we feel those orders do not appear to be useful or are contrary to our thinking or contrary to scriptures. Once the Lord gives an order, we are not supposed to use our intelligence. It's more or less like army. When the army general orders soldiers to fire, march up front, no soldiers ask any questions. Imagine a situation where each soldier asks a question, why he should fire a bullet, or why he should march ahead, or why he should fight. The war is over there and there, and the defeat is guaranteed. Very similar situation exists here. And so, if we really want to progress in our spiritual path, we must find out what Lord is trying to tell us in each and every incident that happens to us. So what it says is, rather than trying to understand the situation or something that is happening to you by asking, why is it happening to me? You should ask yourself, what is God trying to tell me? If something small accident happens or something else goes wrong, rather than asking yourself, why is it happening to me? You should always ask yourself, what is God trying to tell me by these incidents? If you can decode these things, that's your winning spirituality. That's where you are going closer to the Lord, because Lord understands that He wants to know what I want. Once you know what He wants, then you are ready to do it. And this is one of the way of surrendering unto the Lord. This is the meaning of surrendering unto the Lord. The surrendering itself is a long process. Its complete surrendering is very, very difficult. And only realized souls would be able to do that. But this is how we materialists begin. And we begin to try and surrender small and small portion, becoming more and more surrendered to the Lord. So the today's carry home message is very simple. We must try and always decode what Lord is trying to tell by everything that is happening to you and around you. And that's the best way to go nearer to the God. Any question, any revelation, any addition, please go ahead. Feel free and go ahead. Sujata Mataji, please go ahead.
Prabhuji, I have some doubt, like why does Brahmaji say Anasuya way? I think Priyavata thing was not having envy, no Prabhuji, but why does he mention that? I couldn't understand.
As I understand, Mataji, when you tell someone something which is obviously contradicting the basic understanding, Brahma is telling Priyavrata to stop devotional activities that he is doing and start ruling the material world and enter into a family life, which is quite contrary to the teachings and thinkings of most of the liberated souls. When you do that, obviously one thing that comes in the mind of anyone is whether the person, howsoever great authority like Brahma, is he my enemy? Why is he doing that? Why is he telling me, as Arjuna was telling Krishna, that why are you telling me to fight and kill all these people?
Yeah.
What am I going to get by killing all my relatives and my elders? So he is seriously creating a doubt whether are you my friend or you are my enemy. There's a beautiful saying in English, when you have friends like this, you don't need enemies. There are few friends we all have who always try and dig you up all the time, but you still keep them as friends. But in your mind, you know, well, you have a friend, but then when he is there, you don't need enemy. He is your enemy. So to dispel that out completely and not leave any doubt that he is an enemy or he is doing something to harm or hurt Priyavrata, the word envy is used. So once you remove the envy, then you can probably see the supernatural or the transcendental part of the order. when you look at the material part of it, you obviously feel that this order is a wrong order. But you got to be transcendental to the order and the material effects of it. And then you realize why Supreme Personality of the Godhead is giving that order. For that reason, I think the word Anasuyave is used. Does that make some sense, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji, yeah, it's very clear. You gave a very nice explanation. And one more thing, Prabhuji, here what we see is even Lord Brahma, he has to do something contradictory because it is the order of the Lord. Because he has to come and tell him, don't do devotional service, come to a household. So it was something he has to tell the opposite. So he says the beginning itself is giving his position that he has come because of the order of the thing. I mean, that's something comes out from here. Beginning itself, Brahma is telling that. It's not me who is talking, it's the Lord who wants you to do it. Very nice, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you very much for that very important point. Madhusoni Mataji, you had raised your hand.
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. I had
Hare
same doubt
Krishna.
why Brahmaji used NVS, like word NVS, but now doubt is clear, Prabhuji. And another line I liked, the Supreme Lord can never be accused of doing anything wrong, Prabhuji. So it takes lot of time to accept, like whole life, like they struggle and juggle to accept this thing. Yeah, like Prabhupada has mentioned it very clearly. Prabhuji.
Yes. In fact, when I was in US, we had few missionary friends. The Christian missionaries have some of the punchlines. They are very nicely saying them. One of them was this, that the God works in the most mysterious way. So it's very difficult at times to recognize that actually God is trying to help you out all the time. It's when the typical example given by many Christian people was that someone gets up late in the morning, realizes that he is late for the office, he runs, he finds red light all along the road, and he finds traffic chaos at places, and it further delays him. And then he reaches the office just to realize that there was a major accident 10 minutes ago at some crossroad. And then he realizes that, oh my God, I am saved from that accident by just getting late today. So they always say that God works in the most mysterious way. They also say that the help comes from the most unexpected corner. When you are in a dire emergency or a dire problem or a problem which you feel at that moment is unsurmountable, we all feel at times that the problem is so big that I don't think I can come over it. At that time, you just see the help comes from the most unexpected corner of the world. So there are a few such beautiful sayings that they have, and I used to love that while talking to them. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Yes,
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Thank you so much.
So, thank you, Mataji. Yes, Prabhuji, you were talking something. Go ahead. Surya Prakash Rao Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes,
I
yes,
think you have
saying
nicely
something.
explained. Only attractive point here, the key point is that Tesham Sasaiktam Bhajitam Preeti Purvakam. Ena Dadami Buddhi
Yes.
Yoguntam Ema Upayanti. Sorry.
Upayantite.
He is giving a, that's also an instruction for us. Those who are love and show affection towards Lord and surrender the lotus feet of that Krishna. He will show the pathway to reach his Godhead. That's why you always remember Krishna and don't forget Krishna. That is one thing. And always do Hare Krishna 24/7. And one interesting point here he has mentioned, Prabhuji, permit me to tell you, Mahajanas Prabhuji. It has mentioned in 4.16 in Bhagavad Gita. Bhakti Yoga, 12 people are there. Everybody
Yeah.
knows this, okay.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I can tell that 12 people.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell us which would be
No,
a
no,
good revision.
no, many of them know, Prabhuji. I'm a small person. If they want, I will share it, and I know it.
Yeah, please
Recently, I have
share
read that
that.
also.
Yeah, yeah. So
There are
go
12
ahead and tell us.
Mahajanas, Prabhuji. They are all the
Yes.
4 are here. That is Brahma, Sivudu, Narada, and Manu. Next comes and that is Sanaka Sananandalu. Then Kapila, who told about this Sankhya Yoga, Kapila. That Kapila. Then Prahaladu will come. Then Bhishma will come. Then Sukadev Goswami will come. Yamaraju. Then Janaka Maharaja. And last is Bali Maharaj, Bali Chakravarti.
Right.
12 Mahajanas. It was mentioned in 4.16 Prabhuji, Bhagavad Gita.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, Hare Krishna,
Thank
Prabhuji.
you.
Very nice.
Thank you.
One more wonderful session, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much for sharing those 12 names.
No, many of
It
them might have
revises us
known,
well.
Prabhuji. Hare
Yes.
Krishna, Hare
And
Krishna.
look at the beautiful assurance that Lord Krishna gives us, that you just keep worshipping me and continue with your service, and it is my responsibility to bring you to me. So what better assurance anyone can get from such a highest authority of the world? So that's the beautiful part of Lord Krishna.
That's why, Prabhuji, I'm ventured to share feelings here. That whenever I'm disturbed, we are old timers now. We know that in the house, so many certain things we do, we take against our will, and that day it will happen. Their generation is different, generation gap is there. Honestly admitting. Then I go to in my room and say, Hare Krishna, Japa, one more Japa. So to ease my this thing. That is important for us, old people. Hare Krishna, not involving much in this material life. Things do happen like that with or without you.
In
So
fact,
always
I have found out that whenever you have, you are in a duality to do or not to do in any
Prabhuji.
circumstances, and you can't get a clear path because the picture is not clear, the dust is still hanging in the air, and so you can't make a decision. Now, something new that I have found is close your eyes, just get quiet and start Hare Krishna mantra. And within few minutes, you will get your answers. It's fascinating, but it is true.
Yes,
And it
Prabhuji.
works all the time.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. There is problems do come in our life because we are in materialist life. So, but problem, when there is a problem, is there will be always a solution created by Lord Krishna. So the best thing, as you said, it happened also, man. When you chant the Hare Krishna, problem is the solution will strike to your mind. What to do also. It happened 2 or 3 years recently. That is really, as you said, only Hare Krishna is the best thing for us to get up. Thank you, Prabhuji, for giving the opportunity to talk to you, to share my feelings.
Thank you. In fact, Nelson Mandela used to say that there is no problem which has no answer. The answer can be found out by walking and talking that long. That's all. So every solution has problem. Only thing is we don't know. Sujata Mataji, yes. Please go ahead. Your hand is raised.
I didn't want to monopolize, but only one thing comes into my mind is at any time the Lord will try to give us some understanding. This is what happens to Priyavata. He thought he was in that in Krishna consciousness, but he wanted to give him some understanding. So I think that's what it can come anytime. Could be advanced things. So
yes, that's another good revelation, Mataji. You are very right. Lord gives you something for making you better than what you are, or clearing you something that you don't have. That's true. So the Lord always has a purpose. We don't understand the purpose. That's all. Absolutely true, Mataji. Very, very true. Thank you for that wonderful. Thank you, Mataji. Fine. If there are no further questions, I think we call it a day. All of you have the wonderful day ahead. Have a nice Krishna conscious day. Vancha kalpatarubhasya.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you.
Dhanavad
Prabhuji.
pranams.
Hare Krishna. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you
Prabhuji,
very much
Dandavad
for
Prabhuji,
attending
Hare
the
Krishna
class.
Prabhuji, Dandavad Pranam.
To all of you. Thank you. Hare Krishna.